On the way back from Laramie after the Digital Information Privacy Task Force, specifically dealing this go around with finishing up all of our pieces of legislation on the things we were tasked with studying. The Digital Information Privacy Task Force has by far been my favorite committee. And for those of you that know me well out there, you'll know exactly why. It's because it deals with privacy and individual rights and your right to privacy. And this task force has centered on working on removing state government from every aspect that we can get our hands on that has to do with your digital life. As a lot of you know, your digital life is becoming more and more important. It is becoming ever expanding. You might find yourself as one of those people that is finally getting a smartphone and finally having to change over. And you'll find yourself with a Facebook account, with a Twitter account, or multiple email addresses, and the list goes on. So it really delves into a lot of people's lives, and this is the state of Wyoming reacting to that. By ensuring that you still have that right to privacy. Hence why this task force was formed. So we've got several pieces of legislation, a lot of it dealing with children and education. One of those that I'm really proud of is we've officially approved legislation to ensure that University of Wyoming and the 7 community colleges in the state of Wyoming, if this piece of legislation passes the full House and Senate, those kids will no longer have to worry about their emails being public record. And I think that's a giant step forward in the right direction. We've also passed through our task force. Now, granted, these pieces of legislation have got a long ways to go. But one other thing we passed has to do with maybe your kids have social media in some aspect, like Facebook. Some of these school districts have felt that accessing those children's social media sites is well within their realm if they're investigating something like bullying. Now, mind you, this is still essentially an arm of the government. And any arm of the government, anytime they need to access your information, there's proper channels to go through there. And some of these school districts have not been doing that. We took testimony in several meetings about how some of these school districts are employing such things as keyloggers and screenshots so that they can get that information on your children's social media sites. And make no mistake about it, folks. That is not where I stand, and that's not where the entire committee stood either. We passed legislation to put a stop to that. Now, granted, like I said, we got a long ways to go on it, but we're headed in that direction. We also drafted a piece of legislation for political subdivision. So you're looking at your municipalities, your county commissioners, any and all levels of government, to start looking at what type of data, personal data, they're collecting on individuals that they govern, and whether that information should be collected. So I'm really going to be pretty interested to see how that study comes out and see if we can really do a pretty good job for the municipalities and the counties as far as helping them out move down that road. Because realistically, we've probably got some municipalities that are already able to collate all that information, have figured out how to handle it, but those municipalities have several employees just specifically for that one purpose. Whereas in House District 1, we don't have any municipalities that are exceedingly robust in their revenue department to be able to afford somebody that can actually study that for them. So that's part of what we're doing there. This is going to be an ongoing deal. What we've got to do with those pieces of legislation now is we've got to take them to a couple other committees and see if they'll pick up sponsorship of those bills also. And one of those committees is the Corporations Committee, which I also sit on. So that'll be a good experience to be able to share with that committee what we've been doing and see if we can get their approval also. Anyways, I'm almost to Guernsey, Wyoming, and still headed north. It's getting late Saturday evening. I'll see you guys around the house district. And once again, if you need to contact me in any way, please feel free to hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, my cell phone. Give me a call, my home phone. All of that information's public and out there. Don't be afraid to hit me up. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.